In this video, we're going to be reviewing the PBN map embeds test, where essentially we hypothesize that adding any type of map references, whether it be embeds, links, NAP references, along with relevant content, will impact rankings for the listing. The concept being that the content and placement of these map embeds, as well as backlinks and anchor text, all playing some sort of role in the outcome of seeing movement in rankings. So in this test, this is not exactly a single variable test. We did have a few different concepts going on, but the primary thing that was being tested was solely optimizing or solely working on the GMB listing. So we had a brand new listing here, Solar Energy CT, and it has a website attached to it. So there is a website built. It is not a large website, not a huge blog, not a ton of different pages. There's, our processes, additional services that talks about roof repair and roof replacement. But generally, it's just a 5-page website or so. Definitely would play some impact on rankings. As we know from previous tests, we see renewable energy and some other keywords on here. But essentially, we started off with a brand new service area listing with a simple website attached. And the service that we essentially ran was our PBN map embeds service with NAP mentions. We also did tiered links as well. So in this test, we didn't just do PBN map embeds. We do have a theory, or I personally have a theory, that map embeds and backlinks kind of are not necessarily the same thing, but referencing the GBP listing, whether it's through the URL in an embed or a hyperlinked address, along with, again, I said the NAP references and relevant terms, kind of all play an impact. So we will go down into more single variable tests and variations of this if, of course, we see the end result has proven our hypothesis. So we ran 50 PBN map embeds. We have various backlinks being built. There's not commas in here, so we do not see the commas. Solar service, solar panel service, solar panel installation, solar panel contractors. These are all anchor texts that are these are all target keywords that are being used in the PBN map embed titles. And then specifically here, we have our CID URL that we are building links to with these anchor texts: solar panel company, solar panel service, solar panel installation. Now, these PBN links were finalized and tiered links were built on February 20th, and we have the live link report that we can look at. We'll look at one of the listings here. So let's get one example listing, and these websites are not any type of specific targeting. They're very general. They are essentially just PBNs and are specifically being used for the embed and control over the page title and content on the page. So we have one right here: effective solar panel service enhancing efficiency and longevity. You see we have relevant content here. We do have an anchor text link. I believe it's somewhere in here, or maybe it's not in this one. Some of them may not have the links. And then, of course, we have our map embed right here. Let me see if I can find one with a link, because the links specifically to we want to take a closer look at. We specifically built links that were for solar panel keywords: solar panel company, solar panel service, solar panel in general keywords. So the website, or the GBP listing, was built, I believe it was in January, February. By February 20th, we had just a website up and these PBN map embeds with these links to the map listing, the same exact listing that's embedded on the page. So there's nothing linking to the website. There's nothing involving the website for the GBP listing here. It is all just linking to either the map, has the map embed, or the link to the CID. So starting off, of course, with the brand new listing, we had 0 rankings. We did start running these further out geogrids at the end of February. So these actually started, these specific ones here, because it's more zoomed out. We have a better view. So some of them we do see rankings that we saw no rankings before, but even some of these now, commercial solar contractors, solar energy company, these are starting to see some fluctuations in ranking, and we are about 2-3 weeks after the PBN map embeds. So it was about a week or two in where we saw the initial movement. Now these are all the commercial solar panel company. I believe we were mostly targeting, let me see if I have it back over here. So yes, all solar panel keywords. The anchor texts were solar panel company, solar panel service, solar panel installation, solar panel contractor. There was no specification to residential or commercial, as we can see. So I was just seeing if there was any specifics that would be impacted, whether it be residential or commercial keywords. Because now you can see our residential keywords, these took off amazingly well. The residential solar company, solar contractors, again, all of these have seen massive changes. But it's not just the residential, it's also just the base keywords. Solar company, solar service, have all seen massive movement, quite a distance too. These geogrids are 0.75 miles on a 13 by 13 grid, so they do go pretty far out. Solar contractors, this one is not showing that well. So this is interesting to me because we see solar energy company, solar energy installation, solar energy service. These all rank very, very well along with our residential keywords. So I'm kind of getting the idea or the feeling that Google is looking at these base keywords, solar panels, solar company, as general residential terms. When you start looking at the term contractor, and this is an interesting one because it has residential and contractor, anything with contractor seems to be showing essentially just as well as the commercial keywords. So we have solar panel installation. This one's actually showing some decent movement. Solar panel service and installation and service. Maybe these are considered more contracting terms as well. You can see even after the PBN map embeds were placed, there's a more zoomed in view, but even now zoomed out, we got some number 2, number 4 nodes here. But if you look at all the commercial keywords, I found it interesting that all the commercial keywords, they're just starting to kind of pop and show, but they're kind of following the same kind of trend as the contractor and the some of the installation keywords, installation and contractor keywords. So a few things to point out there. I pretty much am willing to conclude at this point, at least for this test, that we did see an impact specifically, not just for the overall map embeds, which we need to test on a more granular level or vary the test a little bit more if we want to understand the biggest impacting factor. But the combination of these map embeds along with these anchor text links to the CID URL. And again, we did use these keywords within the PBN map embed titles. So that is within the actual embed code of the HTML code. This is something we can do a little more granular testing if we want to, but as a holistic strategy at this point, I would say this somewhat confirms, again, we need to do more tests, but this test, at least in itself, confirms that these map embeds and links are influencing the rankings. And I believe, I theorize that it is not just the map embed itself, but it is the content being referenced on the page, the hyperlink, the NAP reference. And the reason why is because of the more broad spectrum of keywords that we see ranking. It's not just the solar energy terms, it's specifically solar panel terms, some of the more targeted terms. And again, because we see some type of correlation between these residential and here's a residential contractor term that looks like it's doing pretty well, but because we can see some correlation there in things that are ranking well and versus not, it seems to maybe not have as strong as impact on the content specifically here. We might be seeing a combination of this authority, these references, along with the website being linked to the GBP, because again, we do know that this will influence the listing. So again, that wraps it up for this current PBN test. We do have another test that is running that we are essentially slamming the listing with a ton of map embeds and backlinks. We're going to go hyper targeted on the keywords. So we should be able to get a really good idea of the impact of the individual targets with that test. So stay tuned. And with that, that's the first PBN test of 2024.